Hello. Today we're going to be talking about how to approach a girl and open her up. So it's important to assess that whether she is open or not. So kind of based on the way she looks, you have to assess like based on her body language. Is it open or is it closed? And even a girl that looks closed can be open, but most of the time, 80% of the time, trust your instincts. So if you think she's closed, then kind of like back away a little bit. But if you see her facial expression like smiling or her body language is open or she looks bored and she has time, then do the approach and introduce yourself and focus on things that you guys have in common. So after you do the cold introduction, like this is who I am, who are you, what do you do for work, or what's your status, are you a student or not, go into topics where you can actually connect with the girl. So if she is a student, like I did a cold approach today and she said she just finished law school and she was a week away from taking her bar exam. And even though I'm not a lawyer, I had interest in law, back in the day when I was a student. I had friends that went to law school. I heard some things and I kind of like talked about the topic. And as we, began talking about like things that, was relevant to her and within her interests, like she opened up. And then, she began talking about like where she went to high school. And then I was like, oh, cool, I went to the same high school. And then that opened up discussions for like other things like, her hobbies and, where she traveled in the summer or where she plans on traveling in the summer. And then, that kind of like opens the door up to just like deepening the relationship. So whenever you open the girl, you have to like, whenever you meet a girl, you have to like look for similar topics and things that are relevant to her. And then she will open up and the conversation will just naturally flow. And so by the time like I end the conversation, like, I thought it would be like a 15-minute approach, but it actually ended up being like a 25-minute to 30-minute approach. I looked at the time and I figured like she wasn't going to stay in the same state as I was in the near future. So I kind of like, usually after the 20-minute to 30-minute mark, if I feel like there's a connection, I would get her number. But because she was moving away, I didn't even ask for her number. But usually that's when you kind of like realize, oh, this is when I should or shouldn't get her number and when I should break it off. But when I told her, it was nice to meet you, I think I gotta go, she was like, you could see it in her eyes, like she wanted to talk more. And she had like, I don't know, this like connection with me that she wanted to like linger in my presence more. And you can feel that when you do good cold approach in game. And that's what you guys should always be aiming for. Good cold approaching game. But that's going to be the end of today's topic. But when you cold approach, make sure to find a connection with the girl and just make it naturally flow. And, make sure that she enters your frame. And by the end of the conversation, you'll feel that, oh, she likes me and she wants a connection with me. That's when you kind of take a step further and you ask for like the future contacts, like her phone number, Insta. And when you ask if you did the game well, she'll be so open, she'll gladly give you her number. And she'll basically, when you text her, she'll respond like promptly. Or even if she responds late, she will respond with like emotions, with like exclamation point, or she was like, yeah, I want to see you again, XYZ. So that's going to be at the end of today's video, but good luck with your game.